Hey you guys, it's Twisty.
This is deep fresh.
And we are here to review this week's episode of Teen Wolf, episode 10,
Number 10.
Fury.
Yeah.
We're going to open with our favorite quotes of the night, and we're going to give Baba the first quote of the night. And hers comes from Matt. It is when Matt has a gun, which he has through most of this entire episode, except when he dies. And
spoiler alert.
I know, right? But Matt has a gun and he's pointing it at Scott, and he's talking about the Furies and these creatures of vengeance during Greek mythology, and he says, "That's Oedipus, you dumbass." So
that was her favorite.
That was her favorite quote. My favorite quote of the night was, once again, Matt has a gun. Scott's in the room. Styles, Jackson in half kinema form, and Derek is paralyzed on the floor. And Jackson walks up behind Styles, just a little clip it, and he falls down. And as he's falling, he says, "You bitch."
Yeah, that was also my favorite. He also said it again while he was paralyzed on the floor.
On top of Derek.
On top of Derek.
Yeah, saying, "Yeah, bitch." So it was very, very funny. Thank you, Styles, for adding some comic relief during this episode.
I love Styles.
So, beginning with our loose ends of the night.
It was several.
We're gonna start off. Why was Leahy at the funeral?
Yeah, why was Leahy at
the Argent's
aunt's funeral?
There was a whole big scandal around town talking about this crazy woman, Kate. And she has probably been accused of killing the Hale family at the Hale Mansion. She was the one who probably was originally accused of setting it on fire.
Yes.
And now she's dead.
Yes.
All these reporters there.
Yes.
Why is Leahy there? I'll even give you Matt there because we all know he's crazy obsessed with Allison. So, we'll excuse him being there. Why is Leahy there? I didn't understand that at all. They didn't even try to explain that, Kate and him used to have a thing, or I don't know.
Maybe he was her coach. I don't know.
She was on the swim team. I don't know. Everyone can be related to the swim team.
Yes.
So
everyone's related to the swim team.
Another thing I didn't understand was, how did the vet find Derek? I was a little bit confused on Derek waking up and the vet's just, over top of him, what was really going on there. So I was a little bit confused with that, and I didn't understand why that was happening.
Exactly.
Matt, it just suddenly pops up at the police station.
Surprise!
I know that we need this to move the plot along, but seriously? How do you know they were there? Why did he? I don't understand. They didn't mention anything about how he was tracking them, how he found them, he sniffed them out. I don't know.
Exactly. No one knows.
Once again, there's an issue of time from the way things appear from the flashback.
That was a definite issue with the time. It was very hard to figure out, the order that these things happen. And MTV, come on, let's work on that.
So I was trying to figure out why you got flashback here, and you have Matt making the connection with Jackson as the kinema, and Leahy is supposed to die that night, the next night, but it looked like Leahy was already dying while they were making the connection.
Yeah, so it's very confusing.
Instead of possibly reshooting a scene, or they just did a flashback, this scene has already been shot.
Which is fine, but you just might want to make it a little bit clearer for your audience.
Right, like you could have done like the traditional thing Thursday at 9:02 p.m. They make the connection, and Thursday at 11:02 p.m. when it suddenly started raining, Leahy dies. I don't know, something like that. And that way we could at least known that it happened the same night. It happened right after they made the connection. It started raining, or happened the next day, or something. Somehow we would know. It's another issue of the time. MTV, get it together. far as Baba's answers, we line up on so far as some of the loose ends. Connection between Matt and Jackson.
Yeah.
Didn't fully understand when it started, how it started. Seriously, what's going on here? I understand how they know each other, from school, but I mean, and then even then, the whole way they connected at the vehicle.
Weird.
You just saw a crazy creature. You just heard a growl. It's some kind of reptilian thing, and you just naturally hold your hand out and say, "Hi."
Exactly.
So, a little bit confused on that. We also agree with the fact that is the Kenema is more powerful than a fully formed werewolf. Now, we wonder about this because the Kenema keeps kicking every wolf's butt. True. And kicking every hunter's butt.
True.
So why is it stronger?
And also, Allison shot it with an arrow.
And it just pulled it out like it was nothing.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to wonder.
There was no scar, no nothing.
There was no blood. But then again, the whole snake crawled out of Jackson's eye, so and there was no blood. There was no whole something.
But I mean,
I guess Kenemas just heal like not just regular fast, but like superhuman, unbelievably fast. So
they'd have to.
Did Isaac and Matt grow apart after the accident? I agree with this, but I also want to add in the fact, if you almost died at someone's house, I don't know if you would be best friends with them.
Yeah.
So, but I am the only thing that I do have to add and say to that is they didn't even act like they knew each other. Yeah. It would have been okay if they kind of did the whole thing like they look at each other and it's like, I don't
yeah, where the audience would be like, maybe they were friends.
Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were neighbors. And somehow they knew each other from elementary school. Something happened where we can understand it, but it bothers me when you don't acknowledge it. But the fact is, MTV doesn't want to do that because then it ruins the whole plot device where you're using this to say, oh no, that they knew each other. Oh no, this happened, blah, blah, here. And it ruins that effect, but it makes it unrealistic for me as a watcher, the viewer, right, that these characters had no kind of interaction whatsoever.
Right. That's the issue.
Then giving one for Baha. Baba. Sorry. Something I've been wondering about the werewolf hunters. The Argents always talk about our family's legacy and our family, this and that. So where do they find the random people like Bennett that the Kenema killed? Obviously not related. Do they recruit? Are the werewolf hunter families? Because I find it hard to believe that Miss Argent learned all her tricks from after marrying. And I kind of have to agree with that. I just don't believe that everything that Miss Argent, and I don't believe that everyone in these hunters and things are all necessarily related. So, alright, now moving on to characters. We gotta start with Peter. Okay, Peter apparently come out all ghost-like and scary now. Lydia thinking she's seeing things in the darkness of her dreams, head, whatever. Come to find out that she's not as crazy as we think, because now he's back? He's not dead? Really alive?
He was never dead, I don't think, because like they left him at the end of season 1. It's like his
burn victim who was
bubbling gelatinous mass on the ground. Then they just took him and dug him.
But see, here's the thing though. If he wasn't dead, no. According to the thingy, because even what's his name? Help me out, y'all.
The vet,
Derek. Thank you. Derek had the tristle, whatever. I had it right in the last video. I might have it wrong now. But we learned that an alpha can become a beta, and a beta can become an omega. So when Derek became an alpha, we all assumed Peter had to be dead. But now
that's what they said in the first.
Right. But now we know that technically that's not true. Exactly. So that could just be the second season contradicting the first season. So, but either way, Peter is now back. What is he going to do? He has some kind of evil plan, and we're all trying to figure out what it is. Mm-hmm. Then there's also Gerard, who's always been evil from the get-go, who's saying, screw a quote. We no longer need a quote because... I don't know why he said quote instead of code, but he said it like that because they killed his daughter.
I don't know what a quote was.
But anyway, he's back. He's made some kind of freaky pack with Scott, and we don't really understand much about this man except for he keeps popping pills. He's always there. He's encouraging everyone in the wrong direction,
Yeah.
and
he's old.
And he's old, and we don't know what his plan is. And he's supposed to be scary. I mean, he pulls out a gun and pulls out a knife, stabs Scott. He drowns Matt. I mean, this old man is just a creepy old man. Then we have Scott, who's innocent, happy, lovely. But wait a minute, he had a secret pact with Gerard. Hold on, wait a minute, Scott. You supposed to be the hero. Well, we understand that you probably did it for good means, but now you're holding secrets. Wait a minute, he ain't the only one holding secrets. There's Allison who's holding secrets because no one can know that her mom died or the real reason why her mom died. And then we got Derek who has all the secrets in the world, but he won't say anything because
anybody.
But see, the interesting thing is Scott has secrets that we know. Allison has secrets that we know. Derek has secrets we don't know. So I don't know what that means or when these secrets are going to come out. And what secrets does he have anyway? So I don't know. It's a lot of things where like it makes me think that they're trying to lead up to possibly maybe being a season 3, and they're just trying to leave a lot of things open to possibly explain in a later episode. Then we have Derek who is there and trying to gain control over the whole situation and is just not doing a good job. I mean, he pops up at the station and then he knocks out.
He got paralyzed by the cannibal.
But then he fights him, but it seems like he's losing. I don't know. Derek seems like he's really trying to be the one in boss. He's trying to be the one in control. He's trying to be the alpha that quote unquote he thinks he is. When that quote. And then we have Matt, and he's dead.
Oh, we found out he's the master, and then he died.
So, moving on to some of Baba's responses. Did anyone else notice that the gunshot went off, in the office, and then the sheriff yells it out? But what name does he yell out first?
He yelled out Scott.
Scott. Then Styles.
Yeah, which is sad.
Yeah, why didn't you yell out your own son's name first? Oh, MTV. Oh. Moving on to surprises. There's no Lydia. We and Baba definitely lined up on this one. She raises Peter from the dead and then disappears.
Where'd she go?
And then they are trying to actually explain the vet's purpose. We have been watching him for like 2 seasons, and I don't know what he does. He's a vet. He's Scott's boss.
Now we know he's an advisor.
And he knew Derek's family.
So he old.
Then we have Matt was the master, and it just happenstance was hoping for a more supernatural thing. Yeah, Matt's the master. Yeah, he was a drowned victim, but you said they killed me. And they didn't kill you. They just didn't help you while you were dying. There's a difference.
Exactly.
So, sweetie, get your story straight.
Because you were alive.
Right. So they didn't kill you.
Well, you were.
Right. Scott and Gerard are working together. I was surprised by that. But in that same instance, it makes you think back to the time when you stabbed Scott and he threatened him and said, just do what I say. And you never see them interact again. And then you hear this like, oh, okay, they're working on the side. But for some strange reason, they didn't want to tell us that. I don't know why. Then we have Baba on our own saying Gerard killing Matt so brutally drowning him was shooting him too humane. I know the kid was crazy and had some anger issues, but damn. So I kind of have to agree with that. That the simple fact that, yeah, it was kind of mean to drown him, the guy who can't swim. But then again, guns always leave fingerprints, always leave, gunpowder residue. There's so many issues with guns that sometimes just drowning a person the old-fashioned way is a better way to kill them. So I kind of understand where that's coming from. Then we have Allison brought into Gerard. This is just us. Allison just agreed with Gerard, just took over the story, just ate it up. I know she's a teenager. I know she's upset with her mom and dad. But still, she took it on so wholeheartedly.
Right. And I mean, even she was suspicious about him from the get-go. And now she seems to be believing everything that he says.
Then the biggest surprise of the night for me, really, was Scott's mom's reaction to Scott. Did that not just break your heart?
Oh, it was horrible.
There have been times in this season in which there have been moments where we have those heartbreaking moments, and they're doing them a lot more. These touching moments between characters, and that one was just one of them ones that was just like, I don't know.
Let's say it.
And you just wanted his mom to accept it. All right, so now what's going to happen next then? All right, we got Scott and Gerard's connection. We don't know if that means good things or bad things, but it probably means bad things for Scott at least. But what does it mean in overall Gerard's overall evil arching plan? Don't know. What about Peter? He's got some kind of plan. Wait a minute. Was he trying to bond with the Kinema and Gerard beat him to it?
I think so.
Naughty, naughty Peter. Then we have Scott and his mom. I just have to know how that plays out. I hope that they make some kind of... That was just heart-wrenching.
I just hope they talk about it.
Then we got Lydia. Is she through with Peter? Is Peter still using Lydia? And now that he's up and walking, does he still need her?
Will she be in the next episode?
Then we have the wolves. So what's going on? Don't really know what's going to happen next with them. Then we got Derek, and he found out about the truth about Scott's pact with Gerard. Derek didn't trust you at first. You think he's going to like you now? No, he's not. No, sweetie.
He's going to beat you up.
So then we have Derek and Peter. Who's the alpha? Well, we know Derek still is alpha according to the vet. But what does it make Peter? Is Peter still an alpha?
Or is he an omega?
Big question of the night. Who's the real villain? Or is this a lesser of two evils battle? Who will outsmart who? Now, this comes from the fact that we're talking about Peter and we're talking about Gerard. Bobo's response is, so what the vet said Peter is after Gerard, which can mean they have a past together as BFFs. Definitely. I don't see Grandpa lasting the season, so I'm thinking he's going to be the bigger evil. A werewolf hunter who doesn't follow the werewolf code. Come on. Then we also have, depending on whose side they choose, it could put Scott and Derek on outs. I think a bigger war is growing and everyone's starting to draw the lines. I think that's a lot of those things were just so accurate and so true. We know that Gerard is evil. Because he's going against his code. Whenever you go against code, no matter how good you are, once you go against your code of honor, you're evil.
Yeah.
So we know Gerard has a plan. We don't know what his plan is. I begin to wonder. Everyone says, maybe the pills he's popping is keeping him from being a cannibal. What if the pills he's popping is keeping him alive? What if he has some kind of debilitating disease and his connection to the kinema, he'll be able to pick up some of the abilities and will cure him. Did anyone think about that?
No.
So we have that issue. Then we also have Peter popping up because it looks like, if you notice, he was watching him kill Matt. Yes, he killed the master. Oh no, he bonded with Kinema. Why did he look sad? Was Peter actually trying to form a bond with the Kinema? And if that was the case, he could use the Kinema at his own free will, which meant he would have had a lot of murderers to kill. So it makes me wonder now, who's the murderer that Gerard's gonna have to kill? Because who's been murdering anybody? Scott hasn't murdered anybody.
No.
But Allison hasn't murdered anybody. Yet it seems like they could be possible victims. Yeah. Maybe even Scott's mom. Scott's mom hasn't murdered anybody, or has she? I don't know.
Styles.
So a lot of these
Styles can murder a fly.
Right. So I'm just beginning to wonder. These two evils are going against each other. And where are the good guys trapped in the middle and surrounded by secrets? And it's just like, what happens next?
Right.
It's almost like MTV has dug a kind of a deep hole here. And we're a little bit curious on what's going to happen next because it's so much that can happen. It can go in so many different directions. Don't know how this is going to work out. Either way, you guys tune in next Monday to see the next episode of Teen Wolf. I think there's only 2 left.
Yeah.
And including this one. And so, what's going to happen next, we don't know. So either way, thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, of course. Check out our Twitter, check out our Facebook. This is Twisty, guys.
Bye-bye, Andy Fresh.
Oh, also comment. Answer your big question. Who's going to win?
I'm going to use my phone to look and see what Jackson is doing. I bet you he's making a porno. Is that Jackson? Corral. Yes. Okay, I'm finna touch your head. Hey, Dad, look at all this evidence we found. I think we should go to the station.
They won't let me in.
Yes, they will. You have to. They have to.
Well, I don't believe so unless Scott says it's okay.
Okay. Hey, Dad, look at all this evidence we found. I think we should go to the station.
They won't let me in.
Yes, they will. You have to. They have to.
Well, I don't believe so unless Scott says it's okay, Mr. Stilinski.
So that's Matt right there, right?
No, that's just the back of him.
But that's Matt right there.
Leather jacket. I don't know.
Well, there he is talking to your mom.
Hey, that's my mom.
I'm camera guy Matt without a camera. I got a gun though, and I'm at the police station. Everybody is dead. 'Cause I wanted them dead. So Derek, hope you know Peter's back. So are you like the dude my sister kept talking about? The advisor that MTV doesn't want to explain anymore? Yes. Now go find Scott.
Just
really sorry, Dad. Really sorry.
Just do what he says.
Get out.
Look, I am here to talk to you.
About what?
Your mother wrote a letter to me, only to me, not for your dad. And here it is as such. Don't ask me why she only wrote it to me. I didn't quite like her. Now, after reading that, I was not close to my mother. She was evil. I did not like her at all. But if I had read that, I would now want to kill everything in sight.
You know what? Me too.
You are my prodigy. Hooray. Oh my. Scott, is that a gun?
I got my emo garb on. This is Allison. I got my crossbow. It's time to go get there.
You said you weren't going to shoot her.
You're right.
That's what happened to you. You drowned.
Well, duh. Over there, stupid little Isaac house. Just trying to get some games. So I was all young and stuff. And the swim team was over there. You know. And, you shouldn't have let him drink. That's all I kept thinking. Then, when they pulled me out the pool after I was dead and drowning and stuff, I was dead. He said, "What little bastard doesn't know how to swim?" But it's okay. I was smart. I got to thinking about the furries. Yeah.
Is that Oedipus?
No. That hurts. It should. Oh, sweet little Allison. You thought I wasn't the one to say, if I can't have you, no one can. Well, guess what? If I can't have you, no one can!
Yes.
Ah!
Yes.
Grr.
Grr.
Ah!
Yes. Yes.
Grr.
Grr, 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 grr.
Ah!
Yes. Yes. You drown now, boy. Drown.
No,
Drown. No,
okay.
no, drown. That's good. That's good, boy. I'm gonna go get your kinema. Come here, little creature. Come here. Come here. Come here.